Yep.
All right. If it's Tuesday, that could mean only one thing. And Mike, what does that mean?
It means it's time for Comic Book School Live.
Yes, Mike, the craft and business of making comics. Hold on, let me pull up our cheers for us. Hold on just to give a minute. We're back. All right. And it looks like we actually have to. Oh, look at that. Hey, Mike, I actually saw Victor Medina offering up a hello and evening, fellas. I started to follow Victor on the Instagram, and heck, this fella is a good artist.
Oh, well, maybe we should have him on the show.
Maybe we should. He's quite talented.
Yes.
Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for Michael. Blank stare, we are ready for your close-up as well. Thanks, Norma. Thanks. Yep. Who's Norma?
Norma, I get that. That was the whole Mr. DeMille quote.
Oh, was it? Wow.
I guess something like that.
Ed knowing the second line in the joke there. Okay, so Mike, tonight we're going to be talking about something that I love, which is comics with photographs on the cover. There is no really good reason for this except that it makes me happy. But first, for new joiners of the show, I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Mike Fasolo, three-time Emmy Award-winning television writer. Let me move the microphone closer. Three-time Emmy Award-winning television writer, former Wizard guy, former Toy Fair guy, former Inquest guy, and a guy that I shared an office with, my friend, my co-host, Mike Fasolo. Mike, I think people know a little bit about you now, and if they don't know anything about me, my name is Buddy Scalera. Also put the same mediocre crowd clapping. It's like golf clapping for me. I am a comic book writer, something award-winning, something creator of Comic Book School, where we do the craft and business of making comics. And sometimes we just do a show for fun, Mike.
As we should.
Yeah.
Look at this. Andrew's got a zinger for us tonight. Hello, guys. Unlike the other episodes, I'm looking forward to this one.
Wow. Wow. That's
getting really tired of my accent.
That is absolutely brutal. But you know what? I'm glad that he is looking forward to this. Mike, it is a not so little known fact that I have a humongous collection of comic books, entirely too large for one person, embarrassingly large. Anytime somebody gives me their comic collection, I eagerly take it and file it and bag and board it. And then over the summers, my daughter and I sometimes will go through and we'll rebag and board things, get fresh boxes. And among the comics that are often my favorite for no practical reason are any comic books that have photographs on the covers. I don't know why. Do you love comics with photos on the covers?
No, I don't. I think it throws off the whole point of the comic. It should be artwork instead of just a photo.
It probably should be. And yet I never get rid of those comics.
Hi, James.
Hey, James, how are you? Greetings. Nice to see you there in your Deadpool costume. There's something about it, and we're going to go through it, and I'm hoping by the end of this episode, Mike, I change your mind about photographs and comics. And for the audience, there were literally thousands to choose from. But put your favorites in the chat because I need more comics to buy this summer. Seriously, I buy them all. And if you see me at a summer con and you know that I'm missing one, please bring it and I'll give you Mike's clippings from his toenails. What do you think of that?
I got plenty of toenail clippings.
Plenty of toenails. Mike, what do you say we get started?
Let's go.
All right. So you jump in with history wherever you have it. Because Mike, I know that you've been doing your studying and your homework. Comics Comics with photographic covers, nothing new. They've been doing this for the longest time. There were times when you would have a comic like Miss America where they would literally have some of the earliest version of cosplay. This was not a TV show. This was a comic book, and they would put a model into a costume, and I bet that this sold pretty well.
That's an actual comic book. It looks like a magazine.
In this comic, it's comics, movies, stories. Comics back then, Mike, often had a big mix of different things. They were sort of an all-around mix of stuff, and for a dime, and kids could get anything. Now, because at this time comics were thought to be primarily for children, I ask you, what kid was buying the Ben Casey comic book?
If you wanted to be a doctor, it's a good place to start.
Mike, what kid was like, you know what? I totally need this comic.
You know what? It would have been a kid like you thinking, I love photo covers, so I'm just going to buy it.
I would have bought this. And if I see this summer, I want it. This very serious photo of this guy with what I would say are pretty awesome eyebrows.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best eyebrows in medicine.
Was Ben Casey a doctor, or was he a private eye?
I think he was just a doctor. I'm not sure. Oh. Said the patient had once vowed to kill Ben Casey. Did he mean it? The next few minutes would tell. I would actually read this comic.
I bet he
now.
Was
I don't think I would have been excited about it as a kid, though.
He was a doctor who was probably like a private eye as well, like a Matlock.
Yeah. So on both of these Ben Casey comics, I noticed this symbolism. Now, is this like some sort of weird Illuminati thing, Mike? Like, what's going on with these symbols? Like, I know what the symbols represent and where to find them even on a keyboard. But what was going on with this set of symbols? If anybody knows.
Maybe it was something saying that it's for everyone.
I don't think so. I think it was like a subliminal message. He's not a doctor.
A doctor, but he'll take a look.
So anyway, if anybody knows what these symbols represent, I hope it's something incredibly creepy.
I'm going to go with it's saying anyone can read this and enjoy it.
I doubt it. All right. So, Mike, we're in the old comics era. I ask you again, who wanted to read these comics? Who was like, you know what? I got to tell you, I really want this comic's on the stands. Like, you got Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, or the Barry M. Goldwater story.
I bet someone was buying these because they thought they'd be worth something one day. Everyone's going to want the Barry M. Goldwater comic, so let's put it away and it'll be worth something.
No, I argue that at that time nobody knew comics were going to be worth money, and that someone bought this for a kid. Some aunt, well-intentioned aunt, bought this for young Mike Fasolo.
Well, I guess the real question is, inside, was it?
It was a comic,
or was it?
Yeah, no, it was comic.
So it wasn't like photographs of him walking around the White House,
heading around in a robe. Now you think like a lot of the Western comics were really like, okay, we did a lot of covers, and who was like, you know what we should have is a guy writing a letter
with a gun next to him,
right? You take the time to make a photograph and put it together, you're like, you know what would look good in this? A letter.
If only you could zoom in enough to see what he was actually writing.
And then this one, not creepy at all, based on the age differences, based on the fact that this is called Best Romance Magazine.
That looks like the cover of TV Guide.
It looks like, number one, what kid, because again, these were specifically targeted towards children, who would have thought this was a good idea? In retrospect, does this look like a couple to you?
It was a complete life story for Barry M. Goldwater. Yep.
It was the complete life story. But I don't know. Is it just me that says the age difference on these two just doesn't look like a romance story? It looks more like an abduction. It looks like an abduction.
You keep saying it was for kids, but I don't think so. I think these had to be tailored for adults. Don't spit things on your computer screen. It's bad for you.
Kids were bad.
That's true.
They certainly were, Andrew Campbell. They certainly were. Although I think if we read the fine print, it indicates this might have been a movie. Maybe it was a movie. I hope so. I hope it wasn't like they were like, this is the best romance we can think of this month.
I'm going to put that in the blooper reel.
That was accidental, boys and girls. Okay. The Flying A's, Range Rider, Barry M. Goldwater, Best Romance. Mike, you're a kid. Your aunt comes and says, Mike, I brought you home some comics. Which one do you open first?
Yeah, well, definitely got to go with the Range Rider. But Barry M. Goldwater is next on the list.
Best Romance, I feel like, is the last one I'm going to open. Okay. When was the comic code?
50s,
Is that
wasn't
the
it?
50s or the 60s? That's a good question. I don't actually know. I think it was the 60s.
Oh.
So I think it was the 60s. So all right. Now sometimes they have comic covers that are dull, like guy writing with pencil and paper. I would buy this all true crime. Like they did a little bit of extra. They put some makeup on the guy that's getting walloped. And they put they put some work into this one, Mike.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a reason that you'd want to buy it, because you'd be like, oh, this guy's getting beat up. Why don't I take a look at this?
Yeah. Now, I'm not 100% sure if Annie Oakley was a TV show or if it was just a comic series from Dell. There were tons of photo covers of Annie Oakley. I should note, and just a shout out, you'll see many of these images come from mycomicshop.com. We don't work with them. We don't sponsor them, but I will tell you, they have a heck of a collection available for sale. And some of these might have even slipped into my shopping cart.
The Annie Oakley one, I hope.
I think that there's something about that Annie Oakley.
We got an answer for the comics code.
Russ Wooten.
Russ. Yes, 1954.
Wow. Russ
that was
Wooten
when the
on the
selection
show.
of The Innocent was published. So the comic was shortly after that. So in the 50s. Yeah, that's crazy. Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, Russ.
Apparently he got that right off of Wikipedia.
At least he admits it. Okay, so we're talking about all true crime. Mike, your aunt comes to you. Mike, I got you 2 comics. Which one do you open first?
Oh, I'm reading Annie Oakley, of course.
I am all over Annie Oakley comic as well. Was a real person. They did a bunch of read that out.
Annie Oakley was a real person, and they did a bunch of stories about her because she's the famous Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Oh.
But was this a model or an actress, or did they just?
I would guess that it was probably just an actress, but if they had a TV show, which they may have, that could have been her.
Could have been her. So, but I will tell you, the all true crime. I put out photo reference books. It's a pretty good photo.
Yeah,
they did a good job with that.
See, I don't like photo covers, as I was saying before, but I would like to see what's inside these comics, how they were done, and if they just look like regular stuff.
That's the idea behind a photo cover.
Yep. Greg says it was a model. He knows everything there is to know about Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley. Hold on. And Tag.
Who's Tag? Her horse?
I don't know. I have to ask Greg.
Oh, Annie Oakley, date of birth 1860, died 1926, in her 60s.
There you go.
That's a little
all
bit
right, Mike. A lot of comic book covers, and you'll see a few of these throughout, are from movies or TV shows. I have this comic on the right, the Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Do you have the ape protest poster?
Do you want to try that again?
The ape protest poster.
I don't know if mine had the ape protest poster, but I will tell you that the interior art is not up to par. Tag is the horse.
Yeah. And Tag. Greg knows everything about everything.
Now, I don't know what these guys are looking at, but they're not looking at the same thing. You notice this guy is looking slightly off to this direction. This guy is slightly off to this direction. I hope they're going to the same place.
Maybe there's 2 different planes that they're both looking at.
That's true. 12 o'clock high. One of our planes is missing. Maybe they're looking for it.
On Sarge, that ape protest was bananas.
Well, I will note that part of that joke will come true. We're going to show Bananas and Dynamite magazine in one of our upcoming episodes. What do you think of that, Mike?
Russ is mad at us. He didn't appreciate how we skipped over his comment and let people believe he used Wikipedia. Where's his other comment? There it is.
Let's go back.
That was right before I looked at Wikipedia.
Oh, all right.
No, sorry I skipped that, Russ. I apologize. And everybody needs to know Russ did not just look at Wikipedia.
Russ is a longtime friend. Longtime friend. All right. So, Mike, let's keep going. Marvel went through a run. I don't know who originated these. They sometimes will credit Jack Kirby as being a person who liked to include photographs from the news and magazines and newspapers and books. Probably didn't get copyrights on any of them. Probably just cut them out and was like, there's the cover. He's got the cigar. He's like, print it, Stan. I don't know. Of the three of them, which one do you like the best?
Well, the one I like the best is probably the Fantastic Four, but these I like even less than just the regular photo ones. These are very off-putting. Like the Namor one over the streets, that's just weird.
Yeah, I find it very off-putting as well. I think the Daredevil one might have been better if he was somehow interacting with the Statue of Liberty. Like, what's he swinging from? Oh, look at that! I never noticed that.
From her arm.
How did he get up there?
Yeah, he's got that grappling hook thing.
And then they've got this guy. I believe his name is the Jester. I've never thought that this was a good character. And then why would this Silver Surfer be flying over this motorcade and no one's looking up at him?
First of all, he's Namor, not the Silver Surfer.
Oh, Namor, you're right.
Apparently, Blank Stare thinks Russ's street cred has been lost.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So anyway, if Namor were flying over the street, why isn't anybody looking at him?
Well, he's behind them all. You know, he jumped from the crowd up after the little parade had passed.
Yeah, this one is kind of a good idea. I didn't like the execution, and I don't even know what is behind the Fantastic Four. Like, what exactly is this supposed to be?
Is that I don't know, cave or something, or the
I don't know. I just don't think they're good. Now, DC did a series, and I think these are a lot better. So you got the Superman one, kind of interacting, right?
Yeah.
This one, much better.
That's good. But see, that's a lot of still artwork, which is good. And the background, I don't know, kind of blends in more. The other ones, the previous slide you had, not as good.
All right. You see the two of these. Which one do you read first?
I would go with the one on the left. Superman flying up off the streets.
How come?
It looks better, at least to me. It's more intriguing.
I agree. I think the cover looks better, but the story on the right looks more intriguing because here you have, he's literally, why is he the Molten Man of Steel? Is he Molten Man? Is he Superman? Why is he completely perfectly bisected down the middle, half on fire, half not? I want to know the answer to it.
You should get that comic and find out.
I'm going to find out. I hope that the story pulls through. This is just Superman flying. It's a well done cover, but
yeah,
Superman flying. DC had a couple of others. I don't know. I love both of these. I love for different reasons. Let's just talk about this one here. Let's go first. He is grabbing whoever the alien is from the unknown is actually grabbing a car. This citizen is reacting. This is pretty well done.
Yeah. See, that's like cool interaction with the photograph.
That's is very well done.
I would definitely pick that one up because that's a very good cover
for the win.
Yeah.
Now, what about this one now?
This one's dumb. I don't like this one.
I gotta tell you, I'm like, okay, Superman's trying to tackle a ghost. And did the editors and employees at DC Comics go out to the street to be photographed for this specifically?
And where did they get the ghost horse?
But I'm gonna say again, which one would you choose?
Oh, from Beyond the Unknown, absolutely,
100%. I'm thinking right now, you and I, when we exchange Christmas gifts this year, this might be in each one of our gift boxes.
I would definitely. I'd let you put that in resin for me.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's a good thing we're not recording this show. Okay. These are a series of covers, Mike. You did some research in it. I found some photos. Why don't you start with your research?
Well, the guy who took this photo and actually came up with the idea for it was a guy that worked for Marvel called Elliot Brown. And if you look in the background, the guy with the camera, that's Elliot. And he had that picture taken. And that's from what I read, that's actually not even a camera that he's holding. That's just some sort of box that they put the light on.
They couldn't afford a camera. Now I'm wondering, I'm wondering if these are Marvel archives of some sort?
They did that in the Marvel offices. So it's probably just one of their storage rooms or something like that.
Now, if this is storage room original art, can you imagine how much that art there is worth?
But see, the thing is, the picture was supposed to show Spider-Man in Newark International Airport, which I don't know what kind of room in the airport would have had all those little boxes and rolls and stuff. But
true, like why would the airport have that? But so I have this issue. I love this issue. Every time I find a copy of this, and there's a better graded issue, I'll buy it.
Okay, there's actually
I'm looking for like a 9.0. But then I saw that this here, Bob Layton, that this was the original cover. And you can see that it was drawn. I found this on the fandom website. Any insight into what was going on with these, Mike? Did they all come out in the same month? Because I'm going to show the other ones as well.
This was the very first, groundbreaking photo of photographic cover of a Spider-Man cover. So this was the one that really kind of launched the Marvel thing for doing.
I would argue that this guy's costume looks good, and this is a pretty good likeness of what I would expect Peter Parker to look like. What about you?
Well, a little bit of trivia about this guy. He was the guy that was tagged for playing Spider-Man in the failed 80s sitcom, or not sitcom, but TV show.
What?
Yeah. There was going to be a Spider-Man TV show, and he was the guy. His name is what was his name? I got Scott Leva.
Dude, he would have been fantastic.
He'd have been great, but he was also a stuntman. And here's a little even more trivia for you. He designed a new type of airbag that stuntmen, when they're jumping out of windows and off of crazy things, that helped, stuntman do stunts better, because the old airbags always had trouble. He designed a brand new airbag and was awarded the Science and Technical Oscar for his design.
Well, we have to see if there are any photos anywhere of this original pilot. I had no idea that this was a character actor for what was it?
It was
did they make a pilot?
1980s for a film, but it never went anywhere.
Now, in truth, the cover itself, the original concept for the cover, is a good cover. Like that would have made a good cover.
I like the artist cover instead of the photographic cover better.
Oh. Still if you saw this cover or this cover, you'd prefer to buy the illustrated cover?
Yes, absolutely.
So
the
what
photo covers are just weird. Oh yeah, Mr. Plick, yeah.
This one, the aliens interacting with the
real people, is actually a good idea. That is a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It feels like they didn't have time or money to actually draw these full covers, so they just drew on photos that were available. I guess that's the Namor flying over the street one.
Yeah, they could be. I mean, it could be like last minute, and they were just like, find a photo, do a sketch over it.
We need a cover for something. Drawn swords. Hey, I'm not a fan of these covers. All of them look like they're from a series called Honey, I Drew the Kids. Russ owns that first one. I don't know which first one. I guess
the first one. Probably from the Beyond of the
Oh, Blossom.
Is Blossom new?
Blossom's new. Hi, Blossom.
Hey, welcome to the show, Blossom. Nice to see you, Blossom. Welcome to the show. We'll start from the beginning in case you missed anything.
We're doing photo covers today. Yeah, okay. Peter Parker going commando. You never know. Could have been.
Well, Mike's going commando for the show.
A wed swinging joke in there. A Wednesday swinging joke? Wed?
I don't know. It looks like a typo. All right, we're going to keep moving on.
A web. Web.
Web. Oh, web. Oh.
Oh, I'm falling behind on comments here.
Yeah. We're sorry, Glenn. That was you messed up a joke.
Yes, I guess it is different than the Spider-Man 77 movie.
Yeah, that movie. 100
Art is greater than photorealism. Yes, I agree.
That's right. Well, I agree with that.
Oh, Russ, it's coming back on us. I did not use Wikipedia. Did I? I may have. I don't even remember where I got it.
Russ is at the keyboard and angry. Watch out.
Oh, there's other Russ.
Back.
That's other Russ. That's our other Russ in our.
Yeah, we got the detective back, Mike. I follow the detective on Instagram too.
Okay, he's got some good stuff.
He does.
Photo comics. When
we have not yet done a Fumetti comic. I considered, but I felt like there was too much here. Okay, let's dive into this. There was then a series of follow-ups. Anything about any of the information? Now I think they were all credited to this person, Elliot
Brown.
It blanks there. Has anybody read any photo comics? Yes, that's called Fumetti, and I have. And even though they're never that good, I save them. So the only thing I can find is June McDonald modeled as Dazzler on the cover for Dazzler 21. I don't know who June McDonald is. I don't know if June McDonald is an artist or a model or what. And
I would guess she was a model, but that's a terrible cover. I mean, you can't even see her face, and you don't even know who Dazzler is. I mean, obviously, if you read the comics, you know who she is, but still.
And then the Doctor Doom one, I don't know.
No.
A little underwhelming on both of these.
Thumbs down. I wish there was a thumbs down emoji on this thing.
All we have is the. That's all we got. Okay, so the Dazzler and the Fantastic Four, agreed, not very good. Spider-Man, Captain America.
Yeah, that one's terrible.
This was not, I believe, the finest of all the photo covers.
No, because even Spider-Man there looks like he's kind of drawn in, sort of. Like the top half of his costume doesn't look like it's a photograph.
It's not a great, it looks like the lighting's bad. It looked like they tried to save it at the last minute. But this one, Mike, is intrigued. They all look They do. They do look like magazines.
Very good. Yep.
But I will tell you, this one's cool where Spider-Woman is on the wall.
I would buy that.
Yeah, look, you got Werewolf by Night. You got, I don't know, this looks like a character out of The Tick or something.
That's what's her name? Hank Pym's wife, Janet Van Dyne, Wasp, isn't it?
Oh, I guess then this must be Tigra down here. And I can't figure out who these other characters are. Somebody's got a sickle. But there's Werewolf by Night over here. I don't know who that's supposed to be. I don't know who that's supposed to be or who this is supposed to be. But I feel like they really gave us our money's worth on this one.
Yeah, I would buy that cover. That looks neat.
And cover box too. So I thought they did a great job with this cover. You got Spider-Woman, who at this point, at issue 50, it's amazing that Spider-Woman made it up to issue 50.
Yeah, it does look like they took him. Yep, and just threw him on the cover.
It does not look good. This is not a good-looking cover.
Is that the Henchman 21 from Venture Brothers? Could be. Oh, that's true. It does look like Butterfly or Monarch. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be Wasp, though.
I don't know either, but I'll tell you the Spider-Woman cover looks cool. I do own both of them and will save both of them.
Wow.
In a fire, I will still grab them and run out with them.
So do you have a box just full of the photo covers?
No. Everything's organized. Everything's obsessively organized. In fact, that's why I had to Google a lot of these or go to mycomicshop.com because I just could not find my issues.
You should.
You're presented with the one on the left and the one on the right. Which one are you going to read?
I'm going with Spider-Woman.
Now, I'm going to say I want to read Spider-Man and Captain America more because I would like to see that Marvel team up, but I love that cover of Spider-Woman. They did a great job. All right, let's move on.
I would have no interest in that.
They did a couple of Punishers. This one is a concept cover of a wedding cake with action figures and lots of blood. And I got to be honest, I've never.
You can't find your issues, buddy.
Every Tuesday I air them out here. Mike, I got to tell you, I never saw this Punisher cover before, and it is now. I am going to be on the hunt for it. That's a good looking cover.
See, I don't like that cover.
You don't like this cover?
No. That wouldn't interest me at all.
Wow.
Nope. No. I might try the wedding cake one, but not the other one. Just wouldn't care about that cover.
Yeah, I like the wedding cake. I like the concept. Yeah, the concept. Blossom agrees with you.
Oh, Andrew says he has that Punisher cover.
Which? There's two Punisher covers, Andrew.
I'm gonna guess the one with the mask on, or the.
Andrew, would you like issue 1 or issue 2? Yes.
That's true. It does look like Darkman.
It does look like Darkman. Wedding cake one.
And this is a good question. How does Bandage Punisher eat soup?
Is that your biggest concern at this point? All right, let's keep going.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
DC Comics responded, I think, in the 90s or 2000s with these covers, the ones with the bandages you take. Ones with the
maybe if you're lucky, Andrew will send it to you.
He might. I got to tell you, this Damage cover, I don't know if they were doing the WB shows, but this is a really good cover.
The Damage one?
Yeah. Look at this guy.
It's boring.
Dude, they did the effect on his hands. They did the effect over here. He's got this, like he's gonna give you a beat down. He's got the costume down.
No, he doesn't look angry enough. He's just kind of standing there with his hand on the wall.
I always thought that this was a terrific cover because it made you want to go and read that.
I would have bypassed that one as well. I would have bypassed both of these. That Booster Gold cover isn't good either.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the point of the Booster Gold cover is, other than, did we put an attractive woman on the cover? Is that Blair Butler wearing the shirt? Is it Blair Butler? What is she? She was from G4, right? Wasn't she from the G4
I don't
channel?
know. Maybe somebody could look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, not Russ. He has all the answers. Russ writes Wikipedia. He's lettering Wikipedia as we speak. All right, we're going to keep going. There was a series of Doom Patrol covers that were done by Tom Taggart. And Tom Taggart was on Comics Vision in the 1990s.
No, he was not.
He was, indeed. He is from New Jersey. And he came on the show, and he brought one of these with him. Oh, look at that. They said that the girl from Attack of the Show, that's Blair. What's her name?
Blair Butler? Yeah, Blair Butler.
That's cool. No, I definitely think that's a photograph. It looks photographic to me. Looks like they photoshopped over it. Okay, so Tom Taggart came. He was one of our early guests on Comics Vision, which, Mike, you were my co-host on Comics Vision, where we were on cable access.
When you needed a co-host and just brought me on until you found somebody better.
Until I found somebody better, and I never did. Anyway, he would do these high concept sculptures, and he brought them to our show for us to look at, and they were amazing. And I think he was a graduate of the Joe Kubert School of Art, and very interesting guy, very nice guy. Lost touch with him, but always loved his Doom Patrol covers.
I was going to say, you should try and get in touch with him and get him on Comic Book School.
Yeah. Now, of these covers, do any of these appeal to you?
I like the two on the right. I don't like that first one on the left.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like the first one on the left. I don't know why I overlapped them the way I did. But I got to tell you that one in the middle is really good.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of art. I wish I could make art like this.
Yeah. Oh, we got some new viewers.
We have a new viewer?
Ishmael Lopez.
Ismael Lopez?
And
welcome to the show.
Sunstrom Sharmram.
Sunstrom Sharmram. Welcome to the show. Hold on.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. We hope you're enjoying the show. Tell us what you think about the show. And
no, don't like the liquid television look, Glenn.
Okay. All right. Here we go now. Indie Comics getting into it. If you remember when Gen 13 came out, they had how many covers?
13.
13 covers. And I had all of them. And I am sad to say that I, somewhere along the way, lost track of those Gen 13 covers, and I am committing myself to getting this cover.
I actually remember that Gen 13 cover.
I love this cover.
That's a great cover.
That is a fantastic cover. It's appropriate to the character. It's I doubt it has anything to do with the story, but what a great cover. Yeah. And it's perfect for Pulp Fiction. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And the Eternal Warrior.
Now this came up under photographic covers. I can't tell if this is photographic or Photoshop or AI.
I don't think it would be AI.
Oh, look, it says John Morrison as the Eternal Warrior. So it looks like it's a cosplay cover. So maybe it is a real cover. If it is a real cosplayer, wow, that's a good cover. And I would like to give points for the photography.
Yeah.
Right? He's not just looking at the camera. It's the way he holds himself. Which of these would you buy? If you had to lay down money, they both cost the same thing. Which one are you going to buy?
I would go with Gen 13.
Me too. I got to go with the Gen 13. Although I do like Eternal Warrior. If Valiant is listening to this, I still have a pitch ready for Eternal Warrior. That's right. That's right. I'm ready to write Eternal Warrior for you guys. Just want them to do this. Oh, wait. I never noticed this before. Look at it on the top here. Winner of the favorite miniseries 1994 Wizard Fan Award.
Oh, look at that.
Gen 13
fan awards.
Yeah, Blossom was going to go with the Gen 13. That's a great cover. I'd like to see the outtakes for that. Honestly, I bet there's some cool outtakes. All right.
You should contact Gen 13.
I might. Oops.
Uh-oh. You got a blank slide.
So very common. We're going to show a few of these of covers of comic books that are based on TV shows or movies. Once again, pulled a lot of these off of my comic shop. I pulled some of my favorites, the comics that would make me want to read this. I have to tell you, Mike, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite shows, my sci-fi genre shows ever, all time, Battlestar Galactica.
The original or the reboot?
Oh, no, the reboot. I mean, the original was whatever it was, like 1978. It was what it was for 1978. But I love this show. Have you watched this show?
I watched
it 3 times.
Yeah, I think I watched the first 3 seasons and then I just gave up. It just never really held my interest.
Let me show you why it held my interest. Right there.
See, I would buy that cover for
Trisha Helfer all day long.
That would be worth it, but the other cover, no, I wouldn't care at all.
I absolutely positively love this show. There wasn't a bad episode in the bunch.
What?
I love them all.
We will have to debate that because
I watched it twice, and then when my daughter came home from college last summer, we started from the mini series and watched all the way straight through. We sat in the basement on beautiful days and grew a beard and ate Cheetos, and it was great.
No.
I
couldn't even finish it.
In terms of cool looking covers.
Yes.
Think of 2 reasons. What are those reasons? Okay. A lot of really lame covers. I should have shown some of the lame covers, but I was just enamored with these 2 covers. IC24. I have a hard time believing that a 24 comic would hold my attention the way the 24 TV show held your attention, right? Because it was all time-based.
Yeah.
right? It's 24. What was the premise? It was like the season was 24 episodes, and
Yeah,
each
and
one represented 1 hour.
Yeah, every day was an hour, or every episode was an hour, which didn't make any sense because he was always driving all over LA, and anywhere he wanted to go took him like 10 minutes. And that is absolutely wrong. Okay.
You would have first 4 hours of 24 would have him just trying to get across town.
It should have just been him sitting in traffic most of the time.
Yeah, and then I give points to this one just for saying like we don't have a lot to do. We just have people standing in a line, and they threw a Photoshop effect against them. And I thought that's a pretty good cover.
They aren't the new X-Men though.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
That was oh no, I can't remember the name of the show.
This is the comic All New X-Men, and they use the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, that's
to cross promote. There it is, right there. Hold on, let's magnify again. It's right there. See, they're cross promoting.
Okay.
Thanks for your videos, by the way.
You are welcome.
You're welcome.
More than welcome.
You're more than welcome. This is time well spent. Okay, here we go. DC, the CW shows, wasn't it called the WB first?
It was called the WB, yes.
Wait, what did Getilla say there?
He wanted to see the season where Kiefer Sutherland was sleeping for 6 hours and then mowed the lawn.
Getilla would watch all 6 of those episodes. I didn't watch, it was WB and then CW. Did you? I watched the Arrowverse shows for a couple of seasons, and I have to tell you, they were all good. I just, for whatever reason, just stopped watching the shows.
Yeah, they got bad toward the end, but some of the shows on the WB were not good. Like Batwoman and even Black Lightning, not good.
I saw the ad for Black Lightning, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And then when I went to go check it out, it was canceled.
Yeah, I think it only lasted 1 or 2 seasons, but I
like this guy's costume. This wasn't good, this show?
The show is not good. The guy who played Black Lightning was great, but it was just not a good show at all.
Yeah, I like his costume. All right. Carrying on. One of the best homages I've ever seen. What do you think? This is the original cover to The Boys, and then this is the cast recreating the cover for a variant cover for Dynamite Comics.
That's pretty neat. I would have bought that.
I gotta tell you, I want a copy of that. Now, do you watch The Boys?
I do watch The Boys. It's only got one more season, then it got canceled though.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but they got all these spin-offs though. They've got like the teenage one, they got the animated series. They are getting their money delivered to them by leaf blower and $100 bills jammed into it, and somebody turns on a leaf blower and they just blow money at them. And I'm happy because Derek Robertson is a personal friend. Garth Ennis is a personal friend. I am so happy for the people involved with this. Bravo to them.
Yep.
What was that quote? What
that woman had to improve a lot just to be bad, and that was true. It was not a good.
Wow, did not know that. Anyway, this is a great cover.
This is some trivia from Russ. CW is a combination of the WB and the Paramount Network.
Wow, why doesn't Russ come on the show?
You had him on once, or I had him on once.
Oh, Blossom, not gonna buy the variant cover, huh?
They did whatever the latest season is going to be. Season 4, I think, is coming out, and that's fine. But I think after that, no more. This will be the last season.
Well, I'm glad that they ended before it goes downhill.
It's a good show. It's a very good show.
Really good.
So there's one more season, and then that'll be it.
Yeah. Well, I love this. This is a delight, and congratulations to Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. We're going to have Derek come on the show and just talk about his journey to The Boys and see some of the behind the scenes on the art. You know, Derek drew a couple of the issues of Deadpool that I wrote. That's how we met.
I did not know that.
We did. Back when Malibu Comics was originally publishing comic books, before they were publishing Image, I believe, they had their own line of comics. Oh, no, wait. This is after Image. They did the Ultraverse. One of my favorite comics was a comic book called Firearm. And a little known fact is that they did a Firearm short film to help Hollywood to see what Firearm could be as a film. They would later go on, many of them, to go work in Hollywood. And Ross Ritchie would go on to found Boom Entertainment. which then would have several comic books turned into movies. So they were California, Malibu based, where they put out comics and did short films, and then also were the original publishers of Image Comics.
I did not know that. You
Yes.
are a font of knowledge.
Yes. So despite the fact that the image on the left is not actually a comic book, it was a boxed video, which I have or had somewhere in my collection. It was based on the comic book on the right, which I would love to see rebooted, to be honest with you. Firearm was a really good.
Never read Firearm, but that cover on the left is not good.
Cover on the left is not good. Cover on the right's good, though, right?
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. I think that's Howard Chaykin, but the interiors were early Cully Hamner.
Catilla thinks that looks amazing. One man, one gun, one chance of me being interested. Or no chance of me being interested.
Yeah, that photo cover is a little rough. That is a little rough. Yeah, standard dude, but that was from the actual video. All right, Mike. Which of these has the most amount of story in it? Evangeline and Glory, the swimsuit special, Evangeline lazing on her side, or the adventure. I have to hold on. I have to.
Bonsai?
The Adventure of Jinky Coronado, Bonsai Girl, which has been based on, I know for a personal fact, this is Jinky Coronado. That's an actual person. And these are actual humans. I don't know the relationship to the comics, but this is when Rob Liefeld was putting out Maximum Press, which has the most amount of story inside the pages, Mike.
I'm gonna have to guess the Bonsai. That's my guess.
I don't know.
The swimsuit issue, obviously it's not going to have a lot of story in there. And Evangeline, probably not much, but Bonsai looks like it's got some stuff going on.
I'm going to also say that something tells me these sold.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What's Blank Stare say here?
So this episode proves we should stop making live action comic book movies and start making 2D animated movies again, right?
I'd be open to that. I'd be open to that.
I don't know. Did they do something like this?
Oh, read that out loud.
This is something that I am a fan of, Hack Slash and Bill McKay's pinup art. The middle kind of looks like Gillian Anderson, so that's okay. Yeah,
sort of. You know me and Gillian Anderson.
Yes, I know.
That was my.
He's thinking of those 2 reasons again.
I'm gonna say that Bonsai Girls probably has the most math story too.
Yeah, and it looks invitingly chaotic.
It does look invitingly chaotic. It does look bonkers, and that's why I'm going to show you a couple more Bonkers covers, because now it gets. This isn't CSI. All right. This is where it really gets bonkers, Mike. I have to tell you, these 3 covers right now, from the left, Bloodthirsty. I'm going to just magnify this because this is a real comic book. You got the 2 barely dressed women and the guy with the stockings looking pretty angry. It found a publisher. Mike, we pitched a comic series to Titan Comics, and they rejected us.
And they picked this up.
This is what they picked. They rejected us. We had a good pitch, and they ended up pitching Bloodthirsty, One Nation Underwater. Now, I had originally found this Babe Force cover, and I thought, this is absolutely bonkers. You got the girl with the space-age gun and the guy with the Mexican luchador wrestling mask. But then I realized this is the absolute bonkers cover that I needed today.
Yeah, if I had to pick one of these covers, it would be that one.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like they reused the gun. Looks like they just basically reused the gun in the pose.
Maybe your pitch needs more bikinis. Absolutely, Andrew, it does.
Yeah, we took it a little too straight down the middle, Mike. All right, Mike, you've got money. You're forced to buy you're only allowed to buy one of these. Let's say this. You're only allowed to buy one of these. Which one are you going to get?
I'm going with the one in the middle with the clown.
I got to tell you, the one in the middle with the clown is compelling, but I got to tell you, Bloodthirsty speaks to me in a way that makes me say, if they had to reject our pitch for Bloodthirsty, I'm glad they went with Bloodthirsty.
Well, the question is, what does Babe stand for?
I don't know. There has to be. It's like Fox Force 5. It has to mean something.
It's like something else in the comic. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what it is, but whoever can find out a little bit of information, if you can get us a copy of this, Luca Libre here, if you guys can get us a copy of this, that would be wonderful.
Or just find out, what Babe stands for.
Babe stands for, this guy alone sells the book. This guy has committed to his role. I absolutely love this. And even look at the grimy background. I love it.
It is certainly strange. I will say that.
Well, let's hold on, go back. We're going to pull up some of Victor Medina's artwork, and we're going to pitch a comic to what is it? Titan.
We should get Victor on our team, and then we'll pitch it.
Now, Mike, there's never an episode where it's not all about me. What is it about these issues that are all about Buddy?
Did you write them?
This was some of my earliest published work. There you go, Buddy Scalera and Buddy Scalera with my friend John Wilcox. We wrote these issues of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the first time I'd ever written a comic, and then written 57 and 58.
Wow.
Yeah. But can you guess what the story is behind Franklin Richards and why this is on here?
I do not. I have no idea.
Russ Wooten. Any guess?
Russ drew it? Or lettered it?
It was published by Chris Eliopoulos. This is my daughter's bedroom. Chris needed a background for the comic book. So that is my daughter's bed. This is the Spider-Man that she earned for going on the potty for the first time. That was her incentive. So I slipped that in there because I knew it was going to be hers. That was her favorite doll in the background. That is her window, her bed, and Franklin Richards. And there's the window and the nightstand. This is my kid's bed. It doesn't look like that anymore.
Did they take the tank out?
They let Franklin out. But yeah, my daughters are part of Marvel history. How about that?
Nice. That's very nice. And the cover in the middle, Elvira, they should have, instead of saying somebody, they should have put somebody.
Ah, look at that.
Should have.
The covers have absolutely nothing to do with the stories. And truth be told, Mike, I have no idea what the stories are about.
But you wrote them.
Don't remember them.
They just kind of happened on the page.
They happened. I wrote them. My name is there. It goes back a long time. I'm not sure what year it was, but I honestly don't remember what we wrote about.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was something about Elvira.
It was probably something. Hold on, let me see if on the zoom in we can see what year this was. No, that was just a photo credit. How does he pee? I don't know. I would imagine that's a good thing that his mouth is covered.
Yeah.
All right, getting close to the end, Mike. This is a little shout out to you and your Femforce fans, Mike. So, Mike, tell them about what we used to do at Wizard, writing the capsules as the lowest men on the totem pole. What our job was.
Oh, we had to just take all this crap that they gave us and try and make it interesting.
So, in Wizard magazine, they would have. They called news capsules, right, Mike?
Yep.
And how many words did we get? About 25 to 30 words.
Oh yeah, you had the bare minimum of words, maybe 20. And
we would torture each other by having to each take turns writing. Femforce fans will read about, and that was your innovation, right, Mike? Using the alliteration of Femforce fans.
Yep, it was good stuff, good times.
And as much as we might want to joke about it, Femforce had a following. And if you look here, I will magnify again. They were in issue 95, counting down to 100. When other comics were priced at like $1.25, they were at $2.95, and they sold.
Yep. You know why?
Why?
I can think of 2 reasons.
Tell me, is it because the cartoon character on the bottom?
Yes, it was exactly him. Yep.
But they sold, and we had to write about them. That was, and we didn't even get credited for it, right?
No, yeah, it was just in the magazine in a little blurb somewhere.
It was like you got an email on AOL or an AIM message and a deadline.
Yep.
We need these in a couple of hours, and we would
And
be
yep.
typing furiously away, trying to make Femforce sound interesting.
It was called Femforce because you were forced to do it.
Where was this copywriter when we needed help?
Yes, look at that. Femforce, the one on the right at the first 112 issues.
Oh, look at that. And a little pun on there.
Yep, they're the hardest.
Or the hardest. Is that the same? Yeah, it looks like the same girl. So they would probably just have costumes made and then take photos. I bet they didn't have any problems getting volunteers to help out. Photo day, right?
Photo shoot days would have been great.
Shoot days, the office was loaded. And they were, what's the script about? And they were like,
it's like you with Elvira. I don't know.
What's it about? It's about 22 pages. That's about it. All right. Modern comics now are using cosplayers, and cosplay has been elevated to its own art form. The things that cosplayers are doing are simply amazing, and publishers have taken notice, including Dynamite and other publishers, and they are making these as variant issues. And from what I understand, as incentives, they're quite sought after. The cosplayers themselves may have hundreds of thousands to millions of followers on social platforms. They cross-promote them, and everybody wins. And Dynamite does it extremely well. These are not just standing there photos. Like, they get the models to do things. I think the one on the right is fantastic. It's got motion in it. It's got blood. I would absolutely buy that.
Yeah, I would definitely buy the one on the right.
I wouldn't buy it. Ironically, I would literally buy that because it looks great.
And you love Red Sonja.
Drawn swords. Drawn swords. Keep it going. Okay, so Marvel went full on cosplay. I did not know this until I was doing the research for this. They did a whole cosplay special. Now, Russ Wooten might know a little bit about this because Russ might have lettered some of these books. But it looks like you can see the lockup up here. I'll zoom in. You can see the cosplay cover series. Oh, now, I'm wondering if they did the cosplay cover series and contacted cosplayers who were particularly good. I don't know what this character is, though.
Is that maybe Stargirl? No, that doesn't look like her.
This is Marvel. What character is this? Is this... It's like Dazzler Eyes with Captain Marvel star? What is that?
I don't know.
This looks like Jean Grey of some sort, or Rogue rather, right?
Sort of
Rogue, right? Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know anything about these, but apparently there are quite a lot of them, and I don't know if they sold well, but I have literally never seen these in the wild, and I go to comic shows all the time.
You got to buy them and find out who it is.
I do, and I would be very curious about who the character.
She loves Red Sonja. Why didn't they spend time on making the title look better than an old Scooby-Doo title from the 60s?
I don't know, redheaded Ed. You don't think the logo works?
It's okay. It's all right.
This is the problem when you get a graphic designer on the show. Graphic designers
analyze everything.
Yeah, they're analyzing everything. I think you're missing the point of the cover. Redheaded.
Yes, we'll go back to this. Two reasons.
Okay. Anyway, I think these are really well done, but I don't have any context into these particular characters. But they do get into more familiar characters. I have to tell you, this Ant-Man is phenomenal.
No, I don't like it.
Look at this guy. He's got the helmet. This guy went on a lean diet to be built like. Look at Mike. You'd have to leave me on a desert island to be that trim. Cap looks relatively convincing right up until the mask, which doesn't seem to.
He does not look at all like Captain America.
Yeah, it kind of looks like bird things. And then I don't know, is this really what Black Panther's supposed to look like?
That is not what Black Panther looks like.
I'm not finding that. Anyway, you're gonna have to buy one of these issues. Which one do you buy?
If I have to buy one, I would probably buy Black Panther.
Why?
Just because it looks the most interesting of the three. And it's not really interesting. It's just the first two are terrible.
I have to tell you, I'm really impressed with the Ant-Man.
Really? Okay. Bye, Victor.
Bye. Thanks, Victor. We'll see you. Good night, everybody. We're going to just go. Victor's leaving.
It's time to quit. Bye. Victor's
go.
out.
He leaves. He tapped out at the 1 minute and 16 second mark. We're almost done. These are also interesting. So I don't know if they're trying to pull off, is he climbing on a wall or if he's supposed to be
his webs, I think.
Supposed to be his webs. And then you have Captain Marvel, which I think is a pretty good costume. I think it's really good. I give props. I gotta tell you, giving props for the expression. I'm buying it.
No, I wouldn't buy that one.
Really?
No.
And now this one.
He looks terrible. Look at that mask.
What happened?
It's like he stopped trying.
Yeah, it's the letters don't look sewn on right. He maybe could do a few more sit-ups. I don't know. I just
think if they put him on the cover, what the others must have looked like that they rejected.
Yeah, and the horns, is that where the horns are supposed to go? On the head?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think they're more, up to the.
I am a little disappointed. I think the Spider-Man costume is excellent. I think the Captain Marvel kind of wins this round.
I would go with Spidey.
Andrew Campbell says he'll save his money, but if you had to buy one of them, which one would you go with?
I would go with Spidey.
I gotta say, I'm right on the fence, Spidey and Captain Marvel, and I'm sorry, Daredevil, it just didn't work.
He looks terrible.
It just didn't work, and maybe it could have. Maybe it's the pose. Maybe the pose could have been a little bit more dynamic.
Blank Stare's got a point. This might be a fun thing to put at the end of the comics as some form of fan engagement, but not on the cover.
Well, they are variant, so if you're a collector, you're going to be paying like $60 for this.
Yeah.
If you're a completist.
They tried, just not very hard.
Read the last part.
He's with Buddy on that one.
No, read it. I with Buddy on this.
I'm with Buddy.
No, not I'm with. You have to read it the right way.
I with Buddy on this. Come on, man. They tried, just not very hard. I with Buddy on this.
Thank you. That made my night. So that's it for our show, Mike. We want people to hold on. We're gonna put the funk out music on.
Your mic's.
We look forward to seeing you every Tuesday, as we saw you this Tuesday. We have a very special guest coming up soon. We'll be announcing that. And thanks for joining us for Comic Book School Live. My name is Buddy Scalera. That there is Mike Fasolo, and we'll see you guys next